Hello everyone, welcome to my studio, or what some might call that my home. My name is Irene Balasoiu and I am a volunteer at the Milwaukee Domes. I am also a student at the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, and I am expecting my degree this spring of next year, 2021. Today I will be showing you how to create a collage using pictures that you can take at the Domes. The pictures that I took were at the Domes. You can use your camera or your phone. You don't actually need anything fancy for this. Just go out there and find some cool plants. There's a lot to find out there. Today I will be going over a few things that you need to know to create a good collage. 1 is materials, 2 is composition and techniques, and 3 is how to finish your collage. So let's get started. In this tutorial, I will be showing you what materials you're going to need for a collage and how to use them to put them together in a nice composition so you can have a nice piece for your home if you choose to frame it. So first of all, we're gonna start with our paper, and you're gonna want to pick just a few pieces of pastel paper. I really like those. They come in really fun colors. Otherwise, just plain paper. Sometimes I use watercolor paper or some crystal paper, just something with a little bit of body to it because it will take a little bit of abuse. Next, you're gonna need scissors, an X-Acto knife. A sharp blade would be preferred, but I couldn't find one. Some paint brushes. I also use some Mod Podge and some glue. And of course, you can use any other materials. You can use paint, you can use string, you can use magazine covers, and most importantly, you can use the pictures that you took at the Domes. Here are the pictures that I took to create a nice collage. So I will be taking you through how I decide what goes in my collages and how I think about composition to make it into a cute piece. First of all, I'm going to look at the pictures that I took and find really interesting objects or images. And I made sure to print larger scale and smaller scale flowers, just so I have a little bit of variety. Another thing that you can do is you can use Photoshop or your computer to create the collage. However, it's not as tactile and it's not as fun sometimes, especially if you don't know how to use Photoshop and stuff like that. So printing larger and smaller will give you that size variety that you can't achieve otherwise. So keep that in mind when you're printing stuff. So I really like this, and maybe I'll take my circles and I'll just kind of look for a cool area. I really like that. So actually also couldn't find a pencil, so I'm going to use this pen. And once you've got your loose circle down, go ahead and start cutting. I will also cut a few smaller circles just to add a little bit more variety and size. Kind of like that, right here. I really like circles, so I will look for any possibility of a circle that I can find. Another thing is, nothing that you cut out needs to be perfect. It doesn't have to have perfect edges. It can be as messy or as clean as you would like. It can also be ripped. You can rip the paper and it'll still give it a cool effect. For example, I really like this, so I'm going to go ahead and just rip it. And maybe rip it on this side as well. And then maybe on the bottom. And then I'm going to test it on my paper. You know, just putting things together to see what they look like. And as you're doing it, you will start to see things come together. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier in the video is that you can actually use packing tape to create a packing tape transfer on top of your collage. That is a great way to add texture and more composition to your piece, as well as if you wanted to add any writing or paint, you can easily stick this on top. So I will show you how to do that. Just take whatever piece of paper that you want and whatever image you like, and just set down a strip of packing tape over it. You can even put down 2 strips, just make sure they line up. And then go ahead and cut just whatever area you can see using in your collage. So I really like this part. So now that you've got your design cut out, you want to take a bowl of water and just have it sit in the warm water for a few minutes. So once your tape is all soaked up, you're just going to want to go ahead and peel off the paper. And as you can see, the ink will stay on the tape, but the paper will go away. So you can see how that looks on the paper. Just like the regular picture. And you can also see what it looks like when you lay it on top of a picture. I love using this technique to add a little bit more texture to my collages. And even when I collage in Photoshop, I always use transparency anyway, so it works perfectly. If you don't know where to start, a really great way to start is just by taking 2 pictures and combining them together. And you can use your ruler and your X-Acto blade to cut straight edges. My image is a little bit bigger than my paper, but I think I like that, so I'm going to leave it that way for now. And make sure that when you're making your collage, you add a little strip of something plain. You don't want everything to have texture, otherwise it'll be too busy and your eye won't know where to go. Now I'm just analyzing all my elements and see just kind of what works, what doesn't. I actually kind of like this. Be careful when you glue things down, as glue will tend to make your paper shrivel up a little bit. One other tip that I have for you is make sure you're completely satisfied with the placement of your images before you decide to glue anything down. and I'm just gonna leave you with the time lapse. As you can see, I used a combination of regular glue and Mod Podge to glue everything down. I made sure to get underneath and on top of everything. It's okay if it gets messy because it dries clear and you can't see it anyway. Alright guys, this is all of the tips and tricks that I have for you today. I will have a list of the images that I use, the images that I took for you to download, and you can use that if you would like. Otherwise, go ahead and go out to the domes, take your own pictures, create your own collages. And as you can see, the way that I finished my collage was by using paint. I just kind of followed the movement that I created with the elements in the collage and just kind of drew some lines, and so that's a way that you can finish it. But any crafts that you have around your house, like string and glitter, stuff like that, works great. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next tutorial.